Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because this story will remind you that life can change in a single moment. His name was David Carter, a young man from a small town in Texas, honest, ambitious, but broke. He arrived in New York with nothing but a backpack, a resume, and a dream to build a life his parents could be proud of. The city was fast, cold, unforgiving. He applied to hundreds of jobs but got the same reply every time. Sorry, we're looking for someone with more experience. Days turned into weeks. His savings were gone, and the only thing left was his determination. One rainy morning, David walked into a massive glass building, Henderson Industries, one of the biggest tech companies in the city. He wasn't there for an interview. He was just hoping to speak to anyone about a job. The receptionist looked him up and down. His shoes were muddy, his shirt was wrinkled, and he looked exhausted. "Sir, you can't walk in here without an appointment," she said sharply. David replied softly, "Please, just 5 minutes. That's all I need." Before she could respond, the company's hiring manager, Mr. Blake, walked past. He was tall, well-dressed, and known for being rude. He looked at David and said, "Is this guy bothering you? We don't hire people off the street. Go try a smaller place, kid." The lobby laughed quietly. David's heart sank, but he didn't argue. He just said, "Thank you for your time," and walked away, drenched in rain but not in defeat. That night, sitting on a park bench, David saw a newspaper headline: "Henderson Industries loses key software developer." A spark lit in his mind. He pulled out his old laptop, opened a free Wi-Fi, and started coding. All night long, he worked, creating a new, smarter system that could solve the company's biggest problem: data delays. The next morning, with no sleep and red eyes, David printed his design and went back to the same building. The same receptionist frowned. "You again?" He smiled. "Yes, ma'am. Please give this to Mr. Blake. Tell him it can save his company millions." She hesitated, but his confidence made her curious. An hour later, Mr. Blake called him in, annoyed but intrigued. "All right, kid, you got 5 minutes. Impress me." David calmly explained his idea. He showed how his code could process data faster, safer, and cheaper. As he spoke, Mr. Blake's expression changed from arrogant to amazed. He asked, "You built this alone?" David nodded. "Yes, sir," in one night. A week later, Henderson Industries tested his code. It worked flawlessly. The company saved thousands of dollars in just 1 week. But when it came time to offer him a job, Mr. Blake said coldly, "Good work. We'll take your design, but we don't have a position open for you." David was stunned. He'd just given them something worth millions, and they pushed him away again. He left quietly, but this time with a new determination to never work under people like that again. Using his design as a foundation, David started his own small company. He called it NovaTech. Born from nothing but rejection and hard work, he worked day and night, building more efficient systems for small businesses. Soon, investors started noticing. Within 2 years, NovaTech was competing directly with Henderson Industries. Then came the moment no one expected. Henderson went bankrupt after a bad product launch. The board decided to sell the company. And guess who made the highest offer? David Carter. When he walked into that same building as a new owner, everyone froze, especially Mr. Blake. David looked around the lobby, smiled, and said, "Funny how things change, huh? You once told me to try a smaller place, so I built one big enough to buy yours." He didn't fire Mr. Blake. Instead, he made him head of customer support, a humbling position far from his old luxury office. Then David gathered all employees and said, "In this company, no one is judged by how they look or where they came from, only by what they can do." Under his leadership, the company thrived again, stronger, smarter, and kinder. Years later, when a young man walked in without an appointment, the new receptionist asked, "Sir, do you have an interview scheduled?" David overheard and smiled. "It's okay. Give him 5 minutes. That's all he might need." And that moment reminded him how far he had come, from a rejected job seeker to the man who owned the company that once turned him away. Moral of the story: never underestimate a dreamer. Because one day he might be signing your paycheck,